Hi. It's day 21 of 100 days of making comics. That's right. This is the reset. Pretend we're on radio in the olden days when people would come in the middle. So I'm going to tell you what's up. It's 100 days of making comics, and 100 days of making comics is when I and others, inspired primarily by Kevin Cross, who started this shebang, spend at least 30 minutes a day working on our own comic book projects. That means a creator-owned thing, whether as an artist working with a writer or your own personal project, whatever. But that's the key: personal project, not client work, not something you're being paid for, not something you're, doing for the man, as it were. But not that there's anything wrong with that. But the whole point of this is, if you're a working artist, this is putting time aside for your own project. If you're not a working artist, but you have a humdrum job that you don't enjoy, this is putting time aside to enliven your spirit and your life and get projects done. There's a million reasons to do it, but the point is, it forces you to put time into something that theoretically you're passionate about and that is yours. And that's what I'm doing. In my case, the project I'm working on is my comic, The Horror A4. It's a little bit glossy there. It's an independent kaiju comic. Kaiju, what is kaiju? Giant monster, like this guy. It's like a Godzilla, big, rah, I'm a monster. This is issue 1 of 5. They're all written. I got the first one done. I started during my first 100 days making comics. Didn't finish it, but continued making videos, continued making process, finished it, kickstarted it, success, hooray, happy me, hopefully happy people that got it, and I'm working on issue 2 now. As I said, there's 5 issues total. The first one took me over a year to do from inception to delivery, but a lot of that was teaching myself the discipline to work on a comic, making the time, that sort of thing, but also designing the world, designing the characters, writing all 5 issues. So at this point, I'm just doing the art. I mean, there might be little changes along the way, but that's what I'm working on at least 30 minutes a day. I've just got done doing a convention in Chicago for work. Then I got done doing San Diego Comic-Con for fun. Now I'm back home and I have the rest of the week where I have to catch up on things, but I'm sort of getting back into the groove of really working on it. Because I was doing some concept art and things like that, but now I'm back doing roughs on the first couple pages of issue 2, which I hope to have done. This is my optimistic thing in about 3 months. It's optimistic, but I'm aiming for it because I certainly don't want it to be over a year. I don't want it to be 6 months because I'd like to get all these issues done within a reasonable amount of time so the interest will be maintained so that I can move on to another project so that I can feel accomplished. I just feel that in every way possible, getting it done sooner rather than later is the way to go. Here comes a cat, and there's the tail as proof. Speaking of independent comics, speaking of 100 days of making comics, I got this before my life got crazy, and I just kind of now had a time to really look at it. This is Scott Serkworks, who is a alum of the 100s and does his own videos, The Young and the Dead. This might be coming up backwards because I'm flipped it around, but it's a kids fighting zombies book. It's very 80s, very Goonies meets Night of the Living Dead, as he would say. But I also got this print, these awesome trading cards. This is what I'm most excited about, other than the story, obviously, is they're very 80s. They're very 70s even, of the characters, and they're printed. They're very, very nice. I also got this 3D print, which has the old red and blue kind of pattern of a zombie, which is pretty awesome. And these were stretch goals. I had bought some digital copies of all the issues and a physical copy of this one. These freebies because of the stretch goals. So awesome customer service. I'm glad he got the support because A, he's a good guy, he's got a good product, but B, it benefited me as getting stretch goals. So huzzah. The Kickstarter's over, but you can still buy his stuff. Check out his YouTube, check out links below. I'll put something to his Serkworks store. And congrats again to Scott Serkworks. So as I said, I'm trying to get back in the swing of things. I woke up earlier today, but I've, just been kind of floundering with the best way to tackle stuff. There's still piles of boxes that I left from the show I did in Chicago. There's piles of boxes and laundry and things from San Diego. So I'm doing a batch of laundry. I had an eBay auction that I just got set up to mail, which I'll mail later. I am uploading videos that I had done that I couldn't upload, so I'm uploading yesterday's video today. I'm making today's video. Hopefully I'll put this up tonight and we'll be all caught up. What? You hear that? What a diva. What? Come here. So, other than things I need to accomplish, and as I said, I have some client work sort of that I'm dealing with. I'm not starting it yet, but I'm like working on, I was gonna say arguing, but hammering out pricing and timetables and things like that with like 4 or 5 different clients. I don't know how many are gonna come true, but at least some of them are. One definitely will. And I'm trying to set them up to not start anything big new until at least August, hopefully after, because I'm still catching up on other stuff. Hold on a sec, this cat just wants to be in the video so bad. What are you doing, Aaron? This is Erin Soon. She's named after the character in Farscape, and she's got caramel on her nose, and she's a little tortoise kitten that, well, I call her a kitten, but she's like 9. But anyway, I'm getting way off track. Aside from all the other things I just said, I need to work on my comic, obviously, and I want to be putting in more than 30 minutes a day. And I also need to make some prints, or at least one new print, for Godzilla Night 5, which is Saturday. I thought it was Friday, which is Saturday night, which is good because it gives me a whole extra day. And the two movies they're showing are Godzilla 2000 and Mothra. I have a Godzilla 2000 print I made recently. It's just a headshot, and those do okay, but like the big 11x17 ones seem to be much better. I did a Godzilla vs. King Kong for the last one. I sold that at G-Fest, which is the Godzilla convention in Chicago. That sells really well. You know, the someone versus someone with a background seems to sell better than the headshots, although the headshots are much quicker to do. So I might try to get a Mothra one going. Well, I definitely want to get a Mothra one going. I don't know if it'll be a headshot or a big print. I'd like it to be a big print, but you know, we'll see. So today I'm gonna probably oscillate, simulate. No, I will actually be doing it. It won't be a simulation. Between getting my life back on track and getting everything sort of squared away and preparing for the show Saturday, and I will probably do some rough breakdowns and concept stuff for some prints, as well as working on the Horror 4. She will not sit down. She's like a dog. Circle, circle, circle. Dot, dot, dot. Now I've got my cootie shot. Thank you. Oh, she's protecting me. I didn't even realize. Anyway, I'm gonna stop making this, and I'll see you. I'll see you where you'll see me. I won't actually see you. Unless you make videos too, and then I'll see you, but it'll be like sort of a time delay. Okay, so I've done more than a half hour. 45 minutes, an hour. I basically knew it was more than a half hour, so I didn't keep too close track. Working on roughs for page 2 and 3. Now, why am I working on 2 and 3 instead of 1? I don't know if I addressed this earlier, but I started with 2 because there was an image of the horror, and I didn't have to like do a lot of research and things like that. Page 1 is Boots at her uncle's house, which I'd never drawn, so I needed to kind of like figure that out. Ironically, though, now I'm figuring out the retirement home on this page, but this is where I'm at. I'll do these 2 pages, go back and do 1, and then go to 4. Not that it matters, but I do prefer to go in order when I can. So today I was working on a panel. As you can see, I had a reference up here. I had more reference, but this is the one closest to the room I was starting to lay out. And as I've said before, the reference is not at all what I'm doing here. I'm not tracing it. I'm not copying it exactly. I put 2 TVs on the wall that would be here, and I kind of changed the order of, you know, everything. But it kind of gives a rough layout of what I'm going to have here. And then next, I'll probably put another table or something and then populate it. And this is the way I like to do it with a big scene like this. When I say big scene, I mean in terms of a lot of complicated things, somewhat in perspective, a lot of different characters. Like I did a subway scene in the original one. Well, I say subway, but it's actually Stansport Tube because it's the future. So I will populate it and kind of make sure the perspective and the layout is roughly okay. And then I'll go ahead and put the people in. I've heard other people say that it sometimes works easier for them to draw the people first and then build the background around them. Maybe I'll change one day, but this is kind of how I feel comfortable doing it now. So that's why I start sort of with the box of the room, and then I furnish it, and then I put people in it. Is sort of my process there. But that's my 30 plus minutes for the day, and I'm going to move on and start working on some of those roughs for Godzilla prints and or house things for right now. So I guess it's another semi-short one, wrapping up today, day 21. I went to see Ghostbusters, which wasn't bad. Despite all the negative press before it came out, I thought the first half was really funny. The second half of the action was not as good, but yeah, overall pretty good, and certainly one of the better reboots there have been. So yeah, that has nothing to do with anything other than what I did tonight. Tomorrow I hope to do more, and the day after that, and the day after that. But for now, it's the end of day, that's all, folks, day 21. And if it's day 21, well then that means
we have 79 days left. 79, yo. We have 7... No, it doesn't.